Hello, I hope you had a lovely weekend. Okay, back to Monday already, doesn't it go so quickly? Okay, super, let's get started then. So, today's date and skill, please, which is to use line graphs to solve problems. Okay, please don't lose them. So, use line graphs to solve problems. If you write that out and underline it, and then come back when you're ready for arithmetic. Okay, so today's arithmetic. Okay, you have got your 7 times tables today. Some addition and taken away. And your multiples. So can you write the first 5 multiples of each? Take your time, try your hardest. Okay. And then come back when you're ready for the answers. Great job, here are your answers. Give yourself a really big tick if you've got those correct. If you did get a couple wrong, it's always a great idea to go back and double check, just to see if you can work out the correct answer once you know. Okay, let's quickly recap from last week then, where we were looking at line graphs. So look at the data carefully to help you to complete this sentence. Mrs. Coleman's sunflower was taller than Mr. Blanchet's sunflower on... So, you've got to tell me what day Mrs. Coleman's sunflower, so my sunflower, was taller than Mr. Blanchet's sunflower. Which day was it? So you can have a look at the data. Okay, look really carefully at that key. Which one is Mr. Blanchet's? Which one is Mrs. Coleman's? Okay. And then hopefully you will see that it was on Tuesday that my sunflower was taller than Mr. Blanchet's. Just for the one day, and then Mr. Blanchet's sunflower grew extremely tall, taller than mine. Okay, so Rosie has used the data in the table to plot this line graph. What mistake has Rosie made? Okay, pause the video because this one might take you a little while. Okay, have a real good think. Look really carefully at the data. Okay, look at the axes. Pause the video and come back when you're ready for me to tell you the answer. Okay, did you notice it? Did you find the mistake? Did you spot the error? This one was really quite tricky to spot, okay? So you had to really look at the data carefully. And what I did, I had to actually replot it again to see what the mistake was. And hopefully you would have noticed that it's because Rosie mixed up the data. So we can see up here at 12 o'clock, it should have been 200. Oh, that one was correct. Oh yeah, sorry, and then 12:20, it should have been 210, but she plotted 12:20 at 120 metres, and then at 12:40 it should have been 120, and she's put 210. So she's got these 2 times and the data mixed up, so she wasn't looking carefully enough when she plotted this data. I know that you will plot yours much more accurately. Okay, so today we're going to be putting all of our learning about line graphs into practice and use them to solve problems. So talk to your partner or talk to somebody around you at home, or just have a think. Is this true or false? More croissants were sold on Monday and Tuesday than on Wednesday and Thursday. So more croissants were sold on Monday and Tuesday than on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, have a pause of the video. Have a think, have a chat, come back. Okay, so what do we need to be able to do to answer this question? Okay, so hopefully you would have worked out that you need to find the combined sum of croissants sold on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. We need to know that before we can do anything else. Okay, so if we know that there are 25 croissants sold on Monday and 30 sold on Tuesday, we know that there was a total of 55 croissants sold on that day. On Wednesday, 15 croissants were sold, and on Thursday they sold 35. Therefore, the total sold on those days was 50 croissants. So we can now answer the question. True or false? More croissants were sold on Monday and Tuesday than on Wednesday and Thursday. And the answer is, of course, true. Okay, so 55 on Monday and Tuesday and just 50 on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, again, talk to your partner, somebody at home, or just have a really good think. How much longer did it take for the seagulls to fly 200 miles than the geese? This is a tricky one. Okay, how much longer did it take for the seagulls to fly 200 miles than the geese? Again, pause the video, have a really good think, come back when you think you know the answer. Okay, so the key piece of information here is the 200 miles. Okay, so they both flew 200 miles. We just need to know how much longer it took. Okay, so we can see, if we look at the 200 miles on the y-axis, we can then work out how much longer it took the seagulls. So here's our 200, okay, and these are our geese. So the geese flew 200 miles on Wednesday. The seagulls, if we go along, we can see they flew 200 miles by Thursday. Okay, so if it took the geese 3 days to fly 200 miles, but it took the seagulls took the geese 3 days to fly 200 miles, but it took the seagulls 4 days to fly 200 miles. Okay, so how much longer did it take for the seagulls to fly 200 miles than the geese? The answer is 1 day. Okay, it took 1 day longer. The geese got there first. Okay. So your independent practice today is to use the data below to create your own line graph. So the data that we can see here shows this week's weather forecast in Hawkinge. Now this is true, this is an actual weather forecast. Okay, so we're not looking for great weather. The top number shows the forecasted daytime temperature, and the bottom number shows the nighttime temperature. So we can see today it's 5 degrees, okay, tomorrow it's 8 degrees, Wednesday is 8, Thursday is 8, Friday is 8, the 16th, the Saturday, is 6 degrees, and the 17th is 7 degrees. And then those figures underneath show the nighttime temperatures. Okay. You can choose the data you wish to include. This is up to you, okay, depending on how much of a challenge you want. You can choose to plot the daytime temperatures, which is the ones at the top. You might want to do the nighttime temperatures, or if you want a challenge, you could include both. Okay, so you could plot 2 sets of data, and we have looked at those, so you do know about those. But remember, if you are doing 2 different sets of data, you'll need to use 2 coloured pencils to plot them, because otherwise it'll be very confusing when you come to do your lines. Okay, my top tips for creating your own line graph. You need to think really carefully about which data is the most suitable for the axes. Will you choose to put the temperature along the x-axis? Remember, x is across, so it goes across, or the y-axis, which goes up to the sky. You can go back over previous videos or even through today's videos to see which one would be most appropriate. You need to choose a suitable scale. So all of our numbers here are below 10. So if we choose a scale which goes up in 10 degree intervals, it's going to be really hard, and we're only going to need 1 because it's going to go up to 10 and that's all we need. So it's really, really hard. So think carefully about the scale that you choose. Okay, you need to include a title and label your axes. And you need to plot your data accurately, and you do need to use a ruler to join the dots. okay, because otherwise it'll be all wiggly. And if you are using the two lots of data, include a key so I can see which is which, okay? Because if you've got two lots of data, I don't know which one the daytime is and which one the nighttime is. And then last of all, not essential, but it's a great idea. If you send a photo to either myself or Mr. Blanchet on Discord, then we can show everyone your fantastic work. Once you've completed your line graph, okay, have a go at answering the questions on the next page, which I'll show you in just a moment. And you just need to choose the ones which match the data you have plotted. Now I'm going to show you. Okay, so if you plot the daytime temperature, you've got the questions at the top. If you choose to plot the nighttime temperatures, you've got the questions in the middle. And if you choose to plot both sets of data, you have got the bottom questions, okay? So you've all got different questions depending on which ones you have plotted. Okay, remember, no peeping because the answers are at the end of the video. And I will know. Okay, so that is your independent practice today, okay? So if I were you, I would leave this on your screen, this page here. I'd pause it now and I would go to my catch-up book where I've written my skill and completed my arithmetic. I will use my ruler and a pencil to draw out my graph. I would label my axes and think of my scale and of course give it a title. And then I would choose one set of data to plot, or perhaps two if you want a challenge, and plot those before using a ruler to line them up. Okay. Now, once you have done that, come back, play the video again, and I'll come back to your final thought and give you the answers to the questions. Good luck. Okay, final thought. Here is a line graph showing a bath time. We can see that's a bath time as a title. We've got our Y and our X axis labelled with height in centimetres and time in minutes. We can see that the bath started filling up at around 1.5 minutes. And then it kind of goes up a little bit here, and then up a little bit more, then a bit more. It goes quite slowly, then it goes up a little bit more here. So why didn't the bath fill up at a constant rate? Why do you think that might be? Because here it goes really slowly. Then it gets a bit faster, then it carries on, and it gets a bit faster again, and then it carries on. Why do you think that might be? Okay, you can have a think or a chat. Okay, so we don't know how the bath was being filled up. It may have been started off with one tap running, and then it might have had 2 taps on, which would have made the bath fill up quicker. Okay, make the height rise quicker. Why did it take less time to empty? Okay, it took less time to empty because there's only one plug. Once the plug's undone, it all goes out. Okay, whereas we can change the rate that it fills up with, depends on whether you use 1 or 2 taps. But to let it go out, unless we keep stopping the plug, it's all going to come out in one go. Okay, at a gradual timing, obviously not all in one go. Okay, excellent job. Let's go through the answers. So if you plotted the daytime temperatures, give yourself a tick if you got Monday, which was the coolest day of the week. And the difference between the warmest temperature and the coolest temperature was 3 degrees. And there were 3 days that the temperature was 7 degrees or lower. If you plotted the nighttime temperatures, the warmest evening was Tuesday. The difference between the warmest temperature and the coolest temperature was 2 degrees. And there were 6 days where the temperature was 4 degrees or higher. And then if you chose to plot both sets of data, Monday had the smallest difference between its daytime and nighttime temperature. Monday daytime and Tuesday nighttime had a temperature of 5 degrees. I wonder if you spotted that. And then Friday had the biggest drop in temperature. Okay. Super work today, guys. Mondays are always hard, but I'm sure you have done amazingly as always. And I shall see you shortly. See you again soon. I'm not too sure which my next videos you'll be seeing because Mr. Blanchet is now recording some too. So I will see you very soon. Bye.